Hey folks, I'm bringing you another episode of Fate Seeker 2, and this episode will focus on Kaifeng area, the side quests, and I have knocked out some of them, those long lengthy ones, and I would like to just show you guys the results. So there is one side quest that starts from the brothel area right here, and after completing that quest it gives you an access to the NPC interaction that can be potentially interacting with our protagonist here. And I have also done another that is near the temple, and that one just gave us some money and the potential to meet another NPC, male NPC, and from this place it's a female NPC. And after doing that quest you will gain access to this item right here. Yeah, these 5 items, so they will give you access to some active skills from my understanding. But before we do that, let's do something else first. So as you know, this is a sequel game of the original game that got released in 2018. And here we got something that is interesting that we can relate to the first one. So essentially what's gonna happen here is when you meditate in a certain area, the protagonist from the previous game will reach out to you with some telekinesis or some method like that, and he will teach you one spell. And so how you do that is to meditate, come into this stage and press the start key, and you will enter into the normally there will be a dummy that spawned here and sparring with you, and you can practice all your combos and whatnot. So back to the story. So if you enter the meditation in this area here, you will fall asleep eventually, and the protagonist from the previous game will reach out to you, claiming that he tried once but you're very hard to find. So he kind of taught someone his abilities and all that, and that person is potentially wreaking havoc in your world right now. So he kind of just hints about it, and yeah, so that's what he tells you. And now as you are trying to wake up, and he just said, okay, since I cannot stop, just say there is 2 versions of abilities that I can teach you. You can choose one of them. Which one do you want? So the first one is more like crit rate based abilities, and the second one is more fancy, but it's more crowd control sort of. So since we focus a lot on the critical rate in this playthrough, let's just use that one instead. And after selecting that, he will just teach you, and you'll be brought back to the world again. And they'll just say, okay, so it's just probably a dream, and so on and so forth. So you, after seeing that prompt, and if you go to your menu here, and since we did not really use this one, so we will just use a different category here. So it's one of the fist weapon, fist skills. So those are the animations. Yeah, so whenever you have a critical hit, your damage is boosted by a lot when you use this one. So okay, so yep, that's one part. And the next part is let me think. The next part, oh yeah, the next part is the little the little area, the interesting area that I can show you guys, so you don't have to waste 20,000 gold, and that 20,000 gold would be needed elsewhere. So there is this little spot where the person, when you try to go in there, the person would say, no, you cannot enter, you need to show me some the entrance ticket. So after talking to him, you will just run back here and talk to this guy, and he will propose you to sell you the entrance ticket for 20,000 gold. But if you select the second one, you will spend 20,000. If you don't have it, it will just say no. But in case you have it, don't select the second one, select the first one. And he will say he'll wait for you, and all that bull crap, and you can just try to ignite him, and he will start running, and he will leave behind the little entrance ticket. Once you have that entrance ticket, if you inspect the item, it will tell you some numbers, and these numbers is actually just the second thing that he wants you to know. And you could simply just talk to him. And select the third option, and he will let you through. But if you talk to any of the NPCs in there, they will let you know that no, it's we are not in service yet. You need to go do your main quest before you can come back, and all that sort of stuff. And you would just, well, one thing you would know. And after completing the quest that is in the brothel, well, we can, after getting these 5 items that I showed you guys in the beginning of the episode, this one and these 4, once you have them, you can, let's do a quick save right here, and we can teleport back to our house here. And if you practice this here, yeah, this one 200,000 gold. Yeah, we don't have that one yet. Okay, so if you show these items to them with a certain order, you will get something good. No, don't putting any money. So the first one is this is strike. And the second one is cut. So the cut should be this one, the 4th one. After you have cut, you have a vertical cut. Why doesn't it give me the interaction button here? Okay, vertical cut is the second one. After you do the vertical cut, it will be the uppercut. Okay. And afterwards, you will do another vertical cut with a cut. Vertical cut. And a cut. And strike uppercut and cut. So you strike, uppercut, and cut. So this is how the ult looks like. Yep, and you learn the first active skills for the yeah, so you have to do them in all correct sequence for you to learn that one. And that, I think, yeah, we can just customize the second one to the sword. Yeah, so these are the combo. You need to do them like properly before you could, you know, use your ult. This one. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind if you're into the sword. So we can you know, there is a specific combo that you need to do.
连天烽火，剑成灰烬吧！这一剑就结束了。
Yeah, pretty nice looking ones. And this is the sword weapon, and this is the blade weapon. Yeah, probably I will still stick with the blade weapon as our second weapon of choice. But yeah, that's something here. Now let's head back here. And remember when we triggered the main sequence, the main cutscene, and our birdie reacted to something that caught his attention, that is actually leading to the 4 folklores that could give us some good backstory to the what we wanted to do. So if you talk to this guy and ask if you are selling anything else, and you could, and he will tell you probably what caught my attention was the pork jerky. And after talking to him, you just buy one of each. Then we need to head to the home bridge area. That's where the quest will start. You will just run along here and up to this port guy here, and if you buy the second item, it will automatically get fed to the birdie here, and it tells you that this is what caught its attention and it had fun eating it, and it will just run away. And you saw something that is unusual because the guy who's selling the calligraphies and all that is looking this way with such a, you know, as if he knew something about it look. Alright, so you remember we bought the candy, and that candy you can exchange with this little guy here, and he will give you one of the good medications, and that one is this one right here. Yeah, so it recovers 60% of your mana. So if you talk to this guy, he will say, yeah, nothing happens. He's probably looking at your falcon, so, and he doesn't want to talk about it just yet. And we could call the falcon, and he'll get shocked, and he starts to tell you something about the folklores. So he'll ask you, have you heard about Homebridge folklores? and you say no, and they are the man in the well, and the grudged wolf, and the point of no return, and the other one is sad, yeah, what is it called, apocalyptic bird. Yeah, so if you talk to him, he will give you the full folklores, and they will lead to 4 different quests. And these quests are rather short, so just make sure that you talk to this guy a little bit. And so essentially, I will be explaining the how these quests are. So you could just I'll explain them when we are doing it on everything. So it's basically telling us the backstory of you know, a haunted place and mysteries that were not solved in this region and that caused concern of people. And okay, so after no. Okay, after talking to him, you would run back here, and buy 2 items here. One is the second-hand ceramic, and this will be the new ceramic. Okay, so let's do the first one right here. And the first one is the person in the well. So if you come to this well and you take a look at here, so probably one of the folklore mentions that it's about this well, but you did not see anything inside. So how can you see a reflection of yourself when there is no water at the bottom? So the first option is the stone can reflect, and the second is somebody is underneath the well, and the third is when there is enough water after rain, you will probably see reflections. So let's pick the third one. So that is how somebody saw a faceless person that is in the well. So that's probably caused by it, because it's not often. Sometimes when there is no rain, and you will not be able to see any reflections. So that's one thing. And he essentially said the folklore started off a drunkard, and the drunkard claims that he saw that. So after you do that too, it will trigger the quest, and the protagonist says, as a drunkard you'll be thirsty, so probably the best place to ask about more idea is at the tea stall. And if you come here and speak to the server and ask him about what do you know about the person in the well, and he will start saying lies, and he'll say okay, please wait here, I need to do something real quick, and he runs off. If you follow him up to the little hill here, he will tell some people that we are trying to find out more information about them. So remember, the journey that we set out to is to take down an allegiance called anti-divine allegiance. Oh. Yeah, the bleed. Look at the bleed. The bleed is so good. And this is a new active skill that we just received from the place. Yeah, this one looks pretty badass as well. Oh. Yeah, so this one, the basic is using bare hand, you're impostering the blade work and all others stuff. And this one has a lot of critical base to it.
一剑无量。
Yeah. Okay. So just showing you guys different movesets here. And after we beat that guy and he reveals that these guys are actually a part of the anti-divine allegiance and they're just plotting something here. And so these are probably the subordinate of one of the 4 elite bosses. So the protagonist gets to know, okay, so probably we will be fighting the elite boss very soon because we're already having contact with his subordinates. So that's end of the first quest, a free 600 experience and some gold. And now let's move on to the second one. The second one, the backstory is there is one of the townsfolk rescued a wolf that looks just like this one, but after not rescued a wolf, killed a wolf, and it is believed that the spirit of the wolf later on came back and haunted the guy. And now if we use remember the ceramic that we bought, there is 2. One is about 100 and this one is about 800. So if you use this item on the wolf, you'll get the scratch mark onto this thingy here. And the first one that we bought for 100 gold, that is the second-hand one, so it is from the person who killed the wolf. So it has wolf scratch marks on it. So if we compare the 2 bottles here, and we learn that it's probably not caused by wolf, but it's more like purposely done by someone. So it will show this one to the bird, and the bird will just lead the way trying to figure out what's the truth here. If you run alone the area, not here, run to the exclamation mark point. And if you run there, and you will know that, yeah, it's again those anti-divine allegiance, they're, you know, cooking up troubles here. In this graveyard, you will be fighting them again. This one is slow casting, but it hits so hard. And it has a little. It has a little reach as well. The visual is very good looking here. But it's kind of slow in my opinion. It's not as satisfying as lance heal. It does do some damage and some good stuff, but I mean, look at our lance. We just run up to people and have all sorts of combos and get some boosts. Yeah, probably that is one of the reasons why I like this weapon, because it just hit people so much. Okay, so you'll find out when you dig the grave here and saw some wolf bones, and you saw a little knife that can cut something just exactly like a wolf's claw. And now you know, it's more like a prank sort of thing, and they're just utilizing this interesting event for their benefits. So after learning that, you can pick up all these spearheads, old spears, and we'll be going for the third one. The third quest is actually pretty close to this area. It is right here. So if you interact here, this is a place called a point of no return. And why do we call that? It's basically mean if you have a wife and you're still messing around with the ladies, and if you come to this place, you would just disappear and die. And we're trying to go to the root. How can this be? So if you push this pole here, you'll gain some incense ashes, and it has a special aroma. And when you look around, you'll see that the same incense is built here. So if you inspect and use the incense ash to compare, you'll be the same ash, and probably something is related here. If you talk to this lady, and this lady will just say she is the one that had that poster up because she had a cheating husband, and that cheating husband she spent so much money hiring assassins to kill her husband. And but later on, when she, you know, drew a picture of her husband and posted here, and that man died. So she was regretted have done that, even though he cheated. But so she set up that poster. So if you talk to her, and she mentioned that she spent so much money on somebody to draw a poster of him, and if you select the first option here, it will say that the probably who painted his picture is very suspicious. And if you go through the sequence, it will just tell you that the person who paints now sells medications on Homebridge, and that will trigger the quest. After triggering the quest, if you go back to Homebridge and find the guy and talk to him, and you will learn that he is one of the assassins in the Assassin's Order that is also working under the Anti-Divine Allegiance. And this is a guy here. So the protagonist is just playing along, acting as if he needs somebody assassinated, and he will just say, okay, you need, this is how you do it, and tells him the process of applying for a deal. Then and the protagonist just acts up, okay, so you have exposed yourself, I'm gonna report you to the officials. And he realized it, and he just runs away. And that's the end of the quest for the point of no return. Okay, and the last one would be in the mass grave, which is down this way. Yeah, this is how you go to the mass grave. So it says that there is an apocalyptic bird that always, whenever people see it, and people die and all that. So if you come here and investigate this sack of something, you'll find some rice balls in it, and you'll just grab one of them and come here to talk to this young mister here. And he tells you that a lot of people been offering rice balls for some bullies to do shady business, and that person is irresistible by the rice balls. if you show this guy the rice bowl and he says, yeah, you need to go show it to that gluttony to work, and that guy is actually standing here guarding the place, he would not allow you to go in there because you want to investigate about the apocalyptic bird. You will just show your rice bowl to him and he will ask you to provide multiple, and he teases you that you need to provide unlimited amount, which is impossible, so he is not moving. However, just take a quick turn here and set up the bonfire and start roasting the rice bowl on it, and it will attract him, and he will learn that, okay, so barbecue rice bowl is pretty tasty. He would want to make more himself, so he steps away. Now we can go in there, and if we come in here, you see more anti-divine allegiance people show up, and here there are quite a few of them. I would recommend you to, you know, just grab them all together and come to the center part and just take them out. The fight can get quite hard because some of them are elite ones. Okay. I might have screwed up a little bit. Okay, so okay, it starts here. Okay, let's not get over ourselves too much. That's kind of embarrassing. First step in this game. Okay, still get them, but try not to go into the windows. Yeah, it should be really simple because there are 4 set of minions, and as you notice, some of them are like the regular goons, and there will be one in each game that is elite. So we fought 3 groups, and the only ones left right now are the elites. They took a little bit of effort to kill, but just like play your distance and all that. It should not be a hard fight, especially with the lance weapon. No, not the map. I mean to pop one of the kills to stay healthy. Okay, and down she goes. Alright, and don't forget to call your birds here. And when I got some time, I did a lot of AFK fishing, so that's why you see a lot of fishes in my inventory. And after feeding 2 fish, I think that's the best chance for it to bring good items for you. And let's wait for the health to recover real quick. It would only take about 20 seconds for you to heal back to the max. So there are there should be one group here, and there is another group over there. So let's take out these 2 groups together.
看得清楚这枪吗？就让你见识见识极阴枪诀的精髓。这阵就让你露馅。看招！蛇大爷！
Voice break. You can swap target by tapping right trigger here.
看招！看招！还有新招吗？还有新招吗？
Okay, after killing them, you will learn that there is a lot of intels being dropped around, and by thinking about it, our protagonist tells us that that apocalyptic bird is actually the courier that the anti-divine allegiance use for communications. And from learning this, they're trying to abandon this place because it's kind of exposed, so it will tell you everything. And your bird approaches you and asks you to follow it, and you'll be teleported back to the painting merchant after solving the 4 folklores. And you tell the old man that, okay, it's solved, it's actually not mystery, it's just people doing shady stuff and all that. And the birdie is acting very excited and all that, and there is something that the bird wants to give to the old man. And after receiving this piece of item that the bird gave to the old man recognizes our protagonist here is the general of this old man in his young days, and he recognized the bird finally and told us that he used to work for the protagonist's grandfather, and now he will pass on the lance skill to us, the lance skill of the grandfather to us. And that is the quest. So after doing that, you will, if you did not start the game with the lance skill that we have, which is this one here, the one that we have been using from the beginning of the playthrough. So if you do not have this one at the start of the game, that is how you gain access to it. Alright, okay, so with that I believe we concluded the side quest of this region for now, and some of them are not in video form, so if you guys are interested, I could definitely do, just let me know. But they're kind of lengthy, so it will be very hard to just show them one by one. So I would just, you know, do all this quest that I think is important and show you guys the result, and we can continue to the main quest line starting next episode. Alright, that's pretty much it, and let me do a quick save right here. Okay, so in the next episode we'll be starting to run down all the main quests, and all the important side quests I will knock them down off the screen, and I will just show you guys the result, and we can just run through the main quests from next episodes on. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.